this is Jason Manos here, or Jace. But I'm just going to tell you a bit about Jace before we start. So thanks for coming, Jace. Jace has a career spanning 20 plus years in FMCG, and he's worked for some of the largest global brands in the world for the like Coca-Cola, Cadbury Schweppes, Lactalis, and most recently over the past 3 years led the launch of the Collective yogurt brand in Australia. Within these 20 years of experience, Jace has navigated his career in large publicly listed and privately owned companies, including involvement and ownership with private equity. Being highly energetic and having a thirst for knowledge and personal development for growth, Jace has moved roles and functions throughout his career, from a traditional sales background into large commercial customer-led and marketing roles, negotiating multi-million dollar branded and private label supply contracts with the grocery majors, to large team leadership roles, managing 300 people, including 2 startups on his own, one in New Zealand and one in Australia, operating across the entire value chain. And over the past 5 years, settle into a general management role position that require agility, leadership, customer-led innovation, team and cultural development, and change management. Now, you would think that would be enough, but it doesn't stop there by a long shot with Jace. Jace's drive, discipline and achievements focus comes from 30-odd years of training in his team sport of choice, being field hockey, where he played at the highest level, representing the Australian and Victorian senior men's hockey team, while serving many years as a scholarship holder at the Australian and Victorian Institute of Sport. So thank you, Jace. Thanks for coming on tonight. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Liz. Thanks for having me. And thanks for sharing your story. I love listening to your story. It's so authentic and real. And I think it just really sings everything you do in your coaching. So that's awesome.
Thank you. So I'm just going to ask you a few questions tonight. Jace has been with me since October of last year and has already made some incredible taken great big actions, which is the sort of person he is. But I just wanted him to come on tonight and really share with you what mindset and growth coaching has been with him. So you're obviously an extremely driven and committed person already. So what made you want to do mindset and growth coaching?
You know, a bit of time last year in 2020 when, COVID had hit, especially the second lockdown in Melbourne. And I took some time to, ponder and reflect on where I'm at in terms of my personal development and growth, and how to think about where I want to be from a professional point of view, career-wise, and also personally. And I was considering going on and doing my the director's course. So I'm still going to pursue that this year. But I thought at the time, I actually was looking for something different. I was looking for something that was more personalised, something for me. And I really need to answer the question of what do I want to do next and get clarity on that, one from a career point of view, but also from a personal point of view. What do I want to achieve? What are the big goals for me? And then, really go and chase those. And I've been struggling with that clarity. And when I first met yourself and I really got an understanding of your engaging style and natural style, and also the Thinking to Results program. And then I think one thing that's not really you can see at the moment with the program is interacting with the team. I knew that this was right for me now. And over the last 4 or 5 months, it's the best thing I've ever done in terms of taking this on. Having done my commerce degree and done an MBA, this is what I needed right now in my career to get that clarity. And it's been fantastic.
That's brilliant, Jace. That's so good. I'm so pleased. So what do you think the biggest shift, or what's the light bulb moment that probably sticks out the most since you started?
Yeah, look, while I'm comfortable in my own skin and I know my own leadership style and I know who I am, what has really been great for me is understanding and getting some support on what's my potential. And it's something I've been struggling with in terms of what clarity do I want on my goals. So if I look around what they are, so one is goal setting. I would go around goal setting on setting a goal, setting a plan, putting an action plan in place and going and doing it. And this has changed that conventional model where it's to have me step out of my comfort zone and think about what's possible, which is far greater on extending my potential. And the goals that I've got set now are far way, advanced than what I think I would ever go and set for myself. So that's been one element.
Yeah.
The next element's around the knowing doing gap for me. We go about our day-to-day jobs doing a certain behaviour and activity. And whether they're successful or not, we can be more successful. And that's around understanding what are the non-productive activities and what are the productive activities, and simply just changing those can have a massive impact on the results. And I've noticed that immediately what I've been doing, and I'm far more effective and efficient in doing that. And lastly, I just feel a lot more calm, relaxed in how I am, highly energized person, but I feel a lot more calm and relaxed now. And I'm understanding what's happening with my conscious mind and how it's impacting my subconscious mind, which is then influencing my behavior. And I'm going into those situations with, what do I want to get out of this as an outcome? And I'm approaching those challenging situations a lot more relaxed and getting the outcome I need due to going in with that approach. And yeah, it's just been great in terms of understanding that mindset, and feel like I'm in control.
It's amazing, because when I first met you, there was like everybody in the coaching program with you can see this, this huge energy you've got and this massive drive that you've got. And when you first came in, you were almost saying, I've got all this drive, but it's almost like I need to pull it back or learn how to control it. And I actually felt like that I didn't want you to do that, but I wanted you to actually just pivot this energy into a direction that was actually going to just make it go even faster, move as fast as you. And I feel like that's what you've created in these last couple of months.
Yeah, great. And it's feedback I've had throughout my career on how I manage that energy. And I feel like I've got it in a really good space now. So, yeah, and the program and each of the topics has helped me get there. So it's been excellent.
So what do you think's been the biggest impact, or like what's been the biggest impact on your career, or, has changed your direction a bit?
Yeah, definitely clarity of goal setting, but it's heightened my vision of what's possible. And I feel like it's in my face every day now because I can see it. Whereas prior to that, I wasn't clear and I couldn't see it and know what I was actually going out to achieve specifically. With that clarity, it's given me a lot of confidence of and making meaningful action steps, because I like to take big action. And now I'm taking meaningful action, and I'm not just thinking about it and talking about it, I'm actually doing it. And I'm far closer to achieving those larger goals in the last 4 months than what I was prior. And those limiting beliefs that I had are gone. It's just that internal confidence and it's also having the confidence of, I don't need to know everything. So I don't need to know exactly the path on how to get there. It's a matter of just understanding what I want, and I'll work that out as I go, and it's about the journey. And I'm just loving being in that space because I'm learning as I go.
That's brilliant. It just makes me think, because to me, you're like such a confident person. And when you say it's given me more confidence, I'm like, how can this guy get any more confident? How does that, how did you feel like that worked?
Yeah, I feel, it's an internal belief of, especially when you're stretching, you're setting stretching goals that you don't know if you can get there. But once you work through the program and having the mindset, around the belief, around the persistence, you've got the tools now to be able to get there. So that's where it's given it just an internal confidence.
Yeah, that's brilliant. And just final question, who would you recommend my coaching to going forward?
Yeah, sure. Look, for executives, but also I think, I've discussed around actually teams. If you're an executive and you're managing a team, having this program for your team would be fantastic. And it's around taking greater control for the future. And obviously from a career and hitting goals point of view, but also from a personal perspective. So I think that's really important. And the other one I think that you can't see, and I mentioned it earlier, for all the executives out there, is getting involved with a diverse network of people who are very trusting, and it's a very vulnerable environment that you can share your knowledge, and people are there to help you and support. The team that we work with is fantastic. I've met some amazing people, and the career opportunities and the business opportunities that have come out of that already have been phenomenal. So you've got like-minded people really working together to support. So and that you can't see it at the front. It's not on the cover of the book. That's what you know when you get into it.
Yeah, it's excellent. Yeah, I didn't realise that aspect, like when I grew this business, I didn't know that the aspect of the network would be so strong, but it's almost become one of the most valuable parts of my coaching. So, and you're a big part of it, and you've helped a lot of people in my network too. So I really appreciate that.
Oh, it's all you, Liz. It's creating that environment, that trusting environment of supporting each other, and it's awesome.
Great.
So thank you,
Jace. Thanks. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.